Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, I'm going to showcase a couple of pretty tough campaign stages that I think people get pretty stuck on early on. And I actually did normal stage 5-15 on day 1 and stage 6-16 on day 2 of this epic challenge. So let's get into it.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
Alright, so we're now on to day 3. I'm actually working now on progressing through chapter 7. I hadn't quite finished that yesterday, and I want to do so to get more diamonds and some summons. Plus, I want to do my spectral rift to get the summons and extra resources there as well. But on day 1, I actually got all the way to 6-15. I just didn't do 6-16. And I ended up using a quirky strategy to make that one happen, which I didn't remember being the case, but hey, I made it work. And of course, again, this is the Epic Challenge, Wreck It with Epics, that was started by Fastidious, and I am also completely free to play. So anything that I'm using, you're going to be able to find a substitute for. Even someone who's a little bit rare to pull and unique like Estrid, you can use another fighter, especially one that does AoE. If you get legendaries like Abomination or something crazy like an Arrogance or whatever, you can obviously sub them in. You can use Gluttony, who's a really strong tank/fighter now. There's a lot of other people you could play with. Even if you don't do this fast of a grind for playing slower, you're going to get Wrath, who's going to be a great substitute. Or you can just, in a lot of cases I use Estrid, you could just use a tank, honestly. It doesn't have to be even a fighter in most of the cases. So we're going to showcase that. She's just there to stop the lane and do some damage, but in some cases she's just there to mostly stop the lane, honestly. Just instead of using 2 defenders. I was only using her plus Rex most of the time, honestly, until I got Mariel. So this is also before I did both 6-15 and 5-15 and 6-15 before I even got the legendary gear, I think. But I don't remember. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure for this one at least I know I could be wrong for 6-16, but I will show that gear at the end of this video. But 5-15, I did not actually record my gear and stuff. So unfortunately, that one, I'm just gonna have to show you guys the heroes and everything. So we'll talk about it though. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is get myself out of the way. I'm gonna play my runs and talk through them again for 5-15 and for 6-16 bosses. So if there's any other stages that you guys are finding yourself getting stuck on as you progress, let me know, because I want to make videos on the hard ones. I do have videos in the past from 7-15 and 8-9, and those have amazing views, but I was using legendaries, which, I mean, that isn't necessarily a big deal at the end of the day, but I want to try to showcase these a lot more basic, with a lot lesser gear if possible, which, I mean, to be fair, you don't have much gear by this point, but no one does. But yeah, I do want to redo some of those older guides, and let me know in the comments, please, 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 if you're stuck on any stages, or there's certain stages you remember the community always talking about getting stuck on. Obviously, the end bosses of each campaign I will try to do, including for hard and expert. I think I skipped the first one for hard. I already went through and did chapter 1. But for hard 2, maybe I'll showcase that boss as well. 2 and 3, I don't know, we'll see. But let me know what you guys think. And yeah, let me roll those footage that footage of the normal stages for chapter 5-15 and chapter 6-16. Alright, so my team for normal 5-15 was this one right here. As you can see, there is no 5-star hero, only a couple 4-stars, and my highest level is only level 31. There was also no legendary gear at this point. I hadn't even got to that quest that gives you the free legendary gear. So very budget, mostly blue. Alright, so let's go in here for this stage. This is a pretty hard one. So I didn't have any trouble with this personally. It only took me a couple tries. So I want to show my strategy. This is the one where Eloin comes out. So you're going to put a fighter or a tank here and another one right next to them. So we're going to block those two paths. That's the start. It doesn't have to be Estrid, who's an AoE damage fighter. It can really just be two tanks. You're going to have your DPS behind them, reaching as far forward as possible. And you're going to notice that everyone is out of the range of those poison, I don't even know what they're called, the things that poison you. So first up, we have a DPS to kill the stuff in front of the tanks or fighters. Then I placed the healer behind them, which I only had really, what's her name? Camille at the time. And then I placed another damage dealer with Voltus next to them. Then up the top there, I placed a marksman to start just attacking a couple things before he's just quickly going to die anyway, though. Just to help kind of deal a little bit of damage as some things come out of the portal. But he's up there alone and he is getting hit, so he's not going to survive the whole fight. But you're going to see it helps, honestly, so it didn't hurt to have someone up at the top there next to that little portal to start dealing some damage. So it gets a lot harder. There's a couple really tough waves. So when Eloin starts coming herself, there's going to be these big guys that come with her. And that gets a lot going on at once, and it can be pretty hard to kill them. Because she's also constantly heal them, so you need to do damage fast enough to take them out. If you have a legendary already that does anti-heal, this is the time to use them. Alright, so you can see I just blasted. I just saved my ultimates for that time. There was no reason for me to use my ultimates before, so I was ready to go and I just hit. And as you can see at the bottom, I placed it Gonkba. He is just a rare mage to help just deal a little extra damage and take out Eloin plus the mages. There was really nothing fancy here. Really nothing fancy here. You just have to do damage. And if you can throw someone down to help finish off the bosses or this wave here, why not have that be a person on backup ready to go? So I hope that makes sense there. And now this is the hardest wave. This wave is the hardest one because at this point you might have just blasted all your stuff and not be ready. But it looks like we're coming back to our ultimates, so we should be good to go. These guys are super tanky though. Although I guess technically the Eloin one could say is harder because she is, healing just like the other dudes. But there are 5 of these guys here again, and they're hard to kill. So they're very, very tanky. You just really need to damage them and just save your ults for when they start coming. Wait till they're in range and just blast. So an extra fighter at the top and a fighter at the bottom, or sorry, a hero at the top and a hero at the bottom to do damage. And we just attacked. Simple as that. But keeping the main core DPS out of the range of the poison is the key. And having that little choke point where they just have to stop there makes it easier. Alright, so let's go on to the next one I'm going to show, which is actually chapter 16. So, or 6-16. This one's very hard. Here's my team. Same heroes, except we got a Medan and a Mariel. I guess, okay, not the same heroes. But yeah, I now have Medan as a healer and Mariel. And then Brienne is our main DPS along with Voltus as well. And then, oh sorry, Estrid is also going to be great here. But you really could use any fighter. I think I used, not Abomination. I'm trying to remember what I used when I did this on my other account, but my main account. It might have been someone like Abomination or Wrath. Wrath is perfect to put where I use Estrid. So if you get a little later into this and you're still stuck on these stages, or you're play a bit slower, as this was my day 2. So at this point, I actually did have the legendary gear on Estrid. So I'm playing this slow. Let's quickly read. You got the life leeching doom. All right, so this is Ludwig. He's annoying. He has a life steal, which is really tough to deal with. It absorbs HP from the unit deployed last. So that's the key to get from this. And then these abyssal designations can kill instantly the heroes with lower HP. Yeah, there's like a quick kill skill there that they just, if they're under 50% HP, they just are taken out. So we don't want that. So all right, let me get back up. We're going to speed this back to normal and be good to go. All right, so what worked for me here was placing a tank up at the top, which I ended up using Rex. You also could use, again, like a Wrath or someone that heals themselves is really helpful. I had Medan heal him, and that was my start. So the start is going to be completely ignoring the boss. And then I'm going to put another fighter or a tank down here. This is another, again, a good place for someone like Wrath or Abomination or someone that's pretty tough. But really, Estrid as just a fighter was pretty good. But we're going to heal her. We're going to have 2 healers here. So you can see I have Estrid and Rex being healed by 2 healers. And they are going to be our core of what's happening. I'm going to try to start doing some damage to the boss now. Only a little bit though. I gave it a try. We took out we did a little bit of damage with Brienne. And then down here, we got to be very aware that there's another portal. Don't forget there's another portal at the bottom. That's what I made that mistake my first time. So that's why Estrid, who's a fighter that can actually kill the enemies, I put down there to make sure we're preventing them from stacking up. So we're going to bring a DPS over here on the safe spot from this boss now. And this is Voltus. So we need to help take some heat off of Rex, who they're just starting to pile up. Rex doesn't do any damage. So we have Rex and we have actually Liam there. See Liam, there's Liam. And there was Voltus. And I took out Voltus because he was about to die. And then we're going to bring in Mariel at some point. I don't think I did right away. I wasn't sure. Mariel is my backup in case one of the other areas get breached. Or are about to get breached. So that's where I had to decide. But now we're just going to get ready. So Brienne, I put at the end safe tile, and now she's just going to be ready to start attacking the boss. As soon as he starts moving, he's instantly getting attacked. So easy. Like, if only you just have to ignore the boss and survive his life leeches. Or have Idril. That's the other obvious. Or have Idril where she can just attack the boss no matter where she is. So Idril on that platform, just attacking the enemies as they come is really good as well. And then popping her ult to kill the boss and job done. So the Idril is the cheat code for this, which is why people are smart enough to reroll for her. I just did not want to reroll on this account. I thought it more fun to take whatever the RNG gods give me. Alright, and then we have Voltus I placed at the bottom just to help take some heat off of Estrid. She was getting a lot of enemies coming at her. It was a little bit crazy there. So Estrid is only a fighter, not a tank, so she can't handle having too many people. Her block is obviously less. And we're not at the point where we have artifacts to make that higher. And so here we go. You can see Brienne is going to take out those big guys, or at least try to. But yeah, we just kind of have it all well balanced. So people are going to start dying. I was a little bit worried. We have a lot going on here. So now that Estrid was about to take a ton of heat, I put in a backup in case someone tried to push through. But luckily, Estrid's ultimate is very strong, and she was able to kill them before they started backing up. But yeah, that was my run for 6/16. That was done on day 2 of this account. Day 2. Alright, and then I'm going to show you the gear that I used, or how the heroes were, for the sake of the 6/16 one. So I did have her up to 5-star level 40, and we had 1 set of legendary gear that we get from the campaign from Hero's Path. I mean, Medan had no gear. I was missing gear on Medan, and she was my main healer. That was an oops. Nothing strong here, really low crit rate on everybody still. But there's what she had, Medan, or Mariel as well. Not the best stats. Camille here. Mostly blue gear, as you can see on all these people, right? Mostly blue gear. Or we were very bad and completely missing gear on Borat, who I don't remember if I ended up bringing him into this run. Did I? I don't even know. I tried bringing him into one of the runs and he died pretty quick. I think I brought him in at the top to help Rex, and then he did nothing. And Autumn was just in some low base gear, and we didn't use Nunia. We did use... Oh no, we didn't use either one of them. Alright, but yeah, that's my people, guys. That was it. And yeah, hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Let me know which ones you need.